Do you get angry when you hear about the BJP, the RSS? Do you get repulsive when you hear about the Congress or a madrasa? Have you started alienating and unfriending people because they do not share your political views? Do you think it's healthy for a democracy? Well, a short answer is no. Because a democracy thrives on debates and discussions and the ability to find common grounds between them. And when we overcommit ourselves to a political ideology, so much so that we shut down all forms of feedback, that's when the problem starts. A recent Pew Research study in the year 2017 and a Gallup poll that was conducted in the year 2024 suggests that more and more people nowadays identify strongly with a political ideology. Almost 26 to 27% of people. Now, we are not here to say that you have to be a centrist. You have to be a fence-sitter. You can, of course, identify as a conservative, as a nationalist. You can identify as a liberal, a progressive. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, we all have our own biases. The so-called journalists and social media influencers who claim to be neutral, even they have their own biases, and there is nothing wrong with that. Unless the bias is so strong that it hinders your ability to take a correct decision. Confusions, dilemmas, moral quandaries are not always bad. Because if we see the whole foundation of the Bhagavad Gita, where does it start? It starts from a dilemma. When the battle of Kurukshetra is about to start, we all know that. There's Lord Krishna and Arjuna asks Lord Krishna that drive me through the armies and let me see who am I fighting. And when he sees his own people, his friends, his brothers, his mentors, his relatives, he just drops his Gandhi and he says, I can't do this. I can't fight this war. And that's when Lord Krishna gives him the divine knowledge. So these confusions, these dilemmas, these moral quandaries means that you are able to seek. You do not think yourself that you know it all. That is very, very essential for a democracy, for a functioning democracy like India. So if you are facing all of this, let's see if we can get some historical perspectives. Now, this principle of moderation is not some kind of a modern political compromise. It's actually a universally deeply rooted philosophical tradition that suggests it represents the highest human values and intelligence. So the first is Aristotle and his golden mean.
Virtue, then, is a settled disposition of the mind, determining the mean. It is the middle way between the two extremes.
He based his entire ethical framework on the basis of this golden mean. So what is this golden mean? Basically, Aristotle suggests that the best of the virtues can be achieved through highest forms of intelligence by locating the middle point of the extremes. Say for example, courage. So what is courage? So as per Aristotle, courage is the mean point between recklessness and cowardice. So at one point of the extreme is cowardice, and at the other point of the extreme it is recklessness. And to find, by using your intelligence to find the mean point, which is courage, that is the greatest virtue. And that is the golden mean. Now, of course, that is context dependent. Suppose a foot soldier who takes 5 minutes or 10 minutes of time to take a decision, so whether he should charge at his enemy, or a CEO who maybe takes 3 months, 4 months, 6 months to take a decision, whether to take the company to one step ahead or to take some kind of a significant financial decision, he may take time. And these two contexts are different. So for that soldier, that split-second decision may represent courage. But for a CEO taking 4 months or 5 months for a decision, that again may represent courage. So that is Aristotle.
Next, we explore Buddhism.
So Buddhism. Now Buddhism in itself is known as the middle way. And Gautam Buddha, before he was enlightened, when he was seeking the truth, he was trying both the ways. So initially he tried a life of extreme luxury and self-indulgence. And he tried all the pleasures. but he couldn't gain peace. Then he tried a life of extreme mortification. The result was the same. I mean, it's almost ended up dead. And that's when he realized that we need to reject the extremes. That's when he develops his eightfold path of rejecting the extremes and adopting the middle way, the mean. So that's the second example. Then there is Confucius and the doctrine of the mean. We won't get into much details about that, but it's almost the same thing. Whatever we had discussed about Aristotle, whatever we had spoken about Buddhism, it's almost the same thing. Basically, he also talks that we need to reject the extremes and find the middle way, and virtue is always the best when it is about locating a middle point and navigating through it. So we had these three examples, right? Now let's look at some recent examples of our own country. So what is our foreign policy? What is our economy? Our economy is not a capitalist economy. Our economy is not a socialist economy. We are trying to cherry pick the best from capitalism. We are trying to cherry pick the best from socialism. And that's how it should be. Right from when we opened up our economy in 1991, we are not a capitalist society. Neither are we a socialist society. What about our foreign policy? We were one of the pioneering nations of the non-alignment movement. During the Cold War era, when tensions were at its peak, we didn't join any club. We didn't sideline with the US, we didn't side with the USSR, and we tried to walk a tightrope, which still now we are doing. Look at the Russia-Ukraine conflict. We didn't support Russia, neither did we condemn it like the Westerners. Then look at the Israel and Palestine situation. We have not taken sides. We have condemned the killings of October 7. We have condemned the killings that are happening in Gaza. And we have always stood for a two-state solution. So that suggests us we are trying to find a middle way. This idea of moderation is not a passive retreat. It's an active political stance that we need to take for a robust democracy. And it takes courage. It takes courage to resist the tribal demands of an extreme ideology, to resist those. It means being steadfast about the principles, but being flexible about the policies. So unblock those chaps on Facebook. Call up your irritated uncle. Let's get all these perspectives. Let's not box ourselves into echo chambers, because that's not what we want if we want us to be a vibrant, democratic nation. Please don't like this video. Please do not share it with your friends. And please do not subscribe to this channel. Okay, that was a joke. Was that a joke? Come on, have some sense of humor.